Welcome to Techtonica Alpha. Today we're doing Plantmatter, and we're going to focus on maximizing your Plantmatter production. Keep in mind this guide is for Techtonica Alpha. Any later phases of the development cycle may be totally different, completely different numbers, and may not work just like this. The goal of this setup was to maximize seed production. In my playthrough, I had tried to maximize thresher efficiency, but by maximizing thresher efficiency, we were minimizing seed efficiency. So in this setup, we are maximizing seed efficiency by making them do something as much as possible, either in the planter or in the thresher. Let's take a look. So from this setup, a seed comes out of the center here. We got the thresher as close as we could, and we have a seed come out of the thresher and then is equally divided among 4 planters, and it's an equal amount of distance to any one planter. So we can put 16 seeds in a system, and the seed will always go to a planter that has a spot on it. It will never get stuck on an inserter with a full planter this way. That way the seed is not wasting its life being stuck on an inserter arm. From the planters, we try to get it back to the thresher with as minimal amount of belt segments as possible, because the time the seed spends on a belt, either going to a planter or back to the thresher, is time it's not doing anything. So the goal here was to minimize belt segments. And that's what we did here, where I have a belt segment that comes up and over here in the middle, and another one that comes over there, and this one's just combined because there was no real benefit of trying to split it. In order to deal with every single seed, we have planters for every single seed. So this gives us a total of 17 and a half setups, because the most amount of seeds that I've found so far in the Techtonica Alpha is 280. We divide that by 16, we get 17 and a half. We have 18 setups here, but one of them is half full, which is this one. It only has 8 seeds running in it, even though I have the full 4 planters. That's just in case I find more seeds, but I haven't found any more, so I think 280 is it. But this should get us up to about 450 to 500 plant matter per minute, which we are going to test. I got a test setup out there, which we're going to run, and we're going to do some timing. But now let's demonstrate how to build this together. So we're going to start with planters. You put one down, you need to have 7 spaces between them, or of the zones, we have 5, just like this. You put them as close as you can together, and autosave. Put them as close as you can together like this. And then we're going to fit our thresher, whether that's electric or regular. The electric thresher is faster than the regular, and you don't need to give it plant matter for fuel. So our goal here is to get it as close as we can so that we can set up our perfectly split, which happens to work out right here, where we're just going, the splitter is just entering the center of the planters. As we can see, it's lining up with the end of the planters right here. From there, we're going to take a belt from the very center, and we're just going to go up 1. We're going to split it this way by 2. And then from there, we go 2 up, 2 up, 2 this way, and 2 this way. This is a perfect load balance between all 4 planters. Now, as I pointed out, I used regular inserters on all of those, but you could just as well, at autosave, you can just as well use fast inserters. This isn't going to give you much, but it does give the belt, it does make the seed move from the belt to the planter just a smidge faster, which could give you even more optimal results. So for the output, we have a little bit of weird belts, as I pointed out, but this is to minimize, again, the number of belt segments that a kindle vine has to travel. So from this far planter, we're actually going to go from here, we're going to turn, we're going to go up and over this splitter right here to this spot here. We're going to turn and come down right there, just like that. And the inserters can pull from an angled belt, so this works out just fine. For this side, we're actually just going to use 1 belt. It just works out well. Where till we come just to this one right here. And for this last one over here, we're just going to come here, and this is actually shorter, and it just ends up right here. And then we're going to add, again, more fast inserters, although regular inserters are totally acceptable. Those are our 3 entry points. And then we need a filter inserter, which I have on 7. That's going to go right here. And what we're going to do is make sure that we set this up to output our seeds. If you do this with shiverthorn seeds, this setup is valid as well to maximize shiverthorn production. You would set the shiverthorn seeds, but we're going to just do the kindle vine seeds here. you have a few spots you can output your plant matter. You have a spot right here you can output your plant matter, and you have 2 spots here where you could output your plant matter. I'm outputting one here and then sending it down the line, whatever direction. If you decide to do this with a regular thresher where you need to feed it with plant matter, you could easily have the plant matter come out one side to some direction and then feed it back to the other side so that it keeps the thresher running. Obviously, that's going to bring down your total output, but you can replace, as I said, you could replace these setups with electric threshers once you get access to them, thus increasing your total plant matter production. So that's how it works. Let's go do some tests. Okay, so I ran some tests individually with this, and I came out with, I ran 2 types of tests, one where I accounted for the autosave and one where I didn't, and you can take the numbers as you will. I ran the numbers for about 10 minutes each. These is what I came up with. A single setup using the fast inserters, I came up with about 27.33 repeating per minute plant matter. And when I accounted for autosave, that number bumped up to 28.66 repeating per minute. So I ran the entire system, which is 17.5 systems of this, and I came up to about 474 plant matter per minute when not accounting for autosave, and 501 per minute when accounting for autosave, which does pretty closely match up to the numbers we get for a single system. So it's pretty good. So that's amazing. With this entire system, we can get 500 plant matter per minute, which is insane, which means we can make about 666 electrical components per minute. We can do a lot with all of those components. Keep in mind, you can do the same kind of system with the shiverthorn seeds. That's it for this guide. Enjoy your plant matter. Thanks for watching.